Hello, and welcome back to the Argyle Finance Solutions Summit. My name is Brittany Sullivan with Argyle, and it's great to have everyone joining us today. A couple of notes before I turn things over to our esteemed speaker. First, a quick reminder to stop by our sponsors' virtual booths at any time during today's event and for the following week. Our partners are committed to providing you with valuable content and a great overall experience. At any time during today's event, you can visit their virtual booths from the main agenda page, which include complimentary materials, information, and meet and greet opportunities. To ask questions throughout the session, simply type into the Q&A chat, and we will address your questions at the end of the session. Now, without further delay, I would love to introduce our speaker, Sadek Fahmy, Technology Sales Support Associate Director at Walters Kluwer. We are excited to have Sadek with us for his thought leadership and demo titled CCH Tagetik's AI Tools for FP&A and Financial Consolidation and Reporting. Welcome, Sadek, and over to you.
Thank you, Brittany. So for today's session, we're going to explore how AI empowers finance teams for their processes, from data integration through reporting, and as mentioned, within the FP&A, closing consolidation, and of course, reporting cycles within the application. Now, to start, CCH Tagetik is a finance-owned full platform that includes an intelligent platform that is built on three core pillars: our intelligent services, intelligent solutions, and intelligent insights. So starting off with intelligent services, this foundational layer really comprises of a suite of services that empower various components of the application. Now, these are going to include connectivity services, to seamlessly integrate with over 250 source and target systems through standard APIs, pre-built connectors, or ad hoc ETL jobs, ensuring smooth and fast data flows. Data hub services. So we have a robust data repository, often referred to as AIH within CCH Tagetik, the Analytic Information Hub. And this Analytic Information Hub is designed to handle massive amounts of volumes of operational and financial data, enabling advanced transformations, modeling, the integration of non-financial data for deeper insights. And then AI services. We've got a set of advanced AI-powered capabilities, such as AI anomaly detection, AI auto mapping, predictive intelligence, and other machine learning-driven tools, which will enhance accuracy, automate tasks, and provide actionable insights across all modules of the application. Now, these intelligence services form the backbone of the platform and power the second core pillar of our intelligent platform, our intelligent solutions. Now, this pillar encompasses the essential business processes that define the CFO's office, designed to simplify and enhance workflows for, our augmented closing consolidation. We're going to elevate the close process by going beyond traditional consolidation capabilities. So this approach is going to integrate automation, advanced analytics, AI-powered tools to streamline workflows, build audit defense, and reduce cycle times. Extended planning, where we're going to enable comprehensive financial and operational planning by seamlessly managing top-down long-range planning, bottom-up budgeting, and rolling forecasts. This includes sales, HR, OPEX, CAPEX, project planning, demand planning, and cash flow forecasting. With the integration of predictive analytics, the platform enhances planning accuracy by identifying trends and enabling proactive adjustments. Supporting both zero-based and driver-based planning approaches, CCH Tagetik provides the flexibility and precision needed to align plans with strategic objectives and adapt to changing business conditions. Corporate tax. We're going to provide comprehensive support for group tax provisioning and reporting, global minimum tax, and country-by-country reporting. ESG and regulatory reporting, where we're going to address sustainability reporting and regulatory reporting in the areas of lease accounting, IFRS 16, ASC 842, and other regulatory requirements. And then finally, intelligent disclosure, where we'll produce seamless narrative reporting by combining financial data and textual content into professional outputs like Word-based annual reports, 10Qs, 10Ks, PowerPoint-based board presentations, management presentations, all powered by generative AI. We're able to automate the creation of narratives, ensure consistency, and accelerate report preparation while enhancing accuracy and compliance. Now, these solutions are tailored to address the most complex needs of modern finance, driving efficiency, compliance, and insight. And so finally, intelligent insights. After integrating, processing, and enhancing data through the intelligent services and solutions, the final step is leveraging the data for meaningful insights. The intelligent insight pillar within CCH Tagetik provides powerful self-service dashboarding and reporting tools to visualize and analyze data in real time. These tools are supercharged by generative AI through our very own AskAI functionality, the intuitive CCH Tagetik companion that enables users to create reports and dashboards in natural language. Whether you're exploring data trends or generating comprehensive narratives, AskAI makes it simple and accessible for all users and across various languages. So altogether, these three intelligent pillars, services, solutions, and insights, form CCH Tagetik's intelligent platform, delivering end-to-end support for financial professionals, from data integration to decision-making, ensuring higher productivity, accuracy, compliance, and strategic value for every step of the way. From a CFO's perspective, the CCH Tagetik solution covers the entire workflow of the finance office. So let's peel back the onion a bit here and take a closer look at how we get to insights that I just alluded to. So first and foremost, in order to effectively harness the power of AI, we need to ensure we have the right data in the correct structure, and we need a lot of this data. This can be a lot easier said than done, which is why having tools to easily ingest data and massage it if needed is important. And as that data comes together, whether it's from internal sources, whether it's from external sources, it's imperative that the data is unified within your data model, as well as validated to ensure you don't run into garbage in, garbage out type scenarios. So we're obviously, artificial intelligence is highly reliant on the quality of the data. And like I said, the amount of data that we bring in. It's actually, in our world of CCH Tagetik, it's kind of ironic that we need clean data and accurate data for AI to work effectively, but we can also leverage AI to make sure that the data is indeed clean and accurate. And we'll be talking about how we can help you out with that journey within CCH Tagetik. And once you've tackled the hurdles, you may have around your data, you can then really begin to embrace the predictive and analytic capabilities of AI and whatever AI has to offer, which has really leveled up the way we see our customers plan, analyze outcomes, and overall be more effective and efficient in their processes. So let's take a look at some of these key areas, and we'll share some practical examples. So we'll discuss some in some slides and then jump into the CCH Tagetik application to show you some practical examples and see how our customers are using AI today within their processes. So first of all, What we do these days when we kick things off by centralizing our data sources that feed our EPM software or acquire our new businesses, it's tedious. It's a manual cycle. We start really understanding the data, holding meetings with existing and new IT teams to understand the ERP systems, the structure of the data, and maybe the specific accounts that need to be mapped. We find some account mappings are obviously are obvious, whereas other require some thoughtful consideration and alignment. Then once we have a clear understanding of the new data sources, we extract that data and export it in these extensive lists of accounts and financial records before we start mapping them really one by one. Then, once we have a mapping drawn out, listing each account from the ERP along with the corresponding account in our EPM or CPM tool, we begin to manually map each account, cross-referencing account descriptions, transaction types, and hierarchies. And we may have to collaborate with various departments to determine the most appropriate mapping for the unique or vague accounts. Once we've worked out the mapping, we now test the results, probably with some sort of dummy data to validate that the mappings were correct and manually checking for any errors or discrepancies. And finally, we have 100% validated our efforts. We upload the data and conduct any adjustments necessary to ensure the imported data, matches the source data accurately. Certainly, the process is worthwhile, but it's grueling and manual. With CCH Tagetik, however, we have been able to eliminate many of the repetitive tasks, the manual tasks involved with integrating our data and acquiring new data sources. Now, with AI auto mapping within CCH Tagetik, we're able to remove the number of steps necessary to get you up and running. Now we're able to get quick reconciliation of data coming from different sources with different dimensionality through intelligent mapping. Let's actually take a quick second and take a look at what modern data integration looks like within CCH Tagetik. And for that, I'm just going to jump over to CCH Tagetik. Now, within our AI auto mapping step, I have the ability to, load my ERP accounts and run the AI auto mapping. I've actually done this just because we're on a limited amount of time today. But what I can do here is open up the result of the auto mapping that CCH Tagetik has done. Now here, what I'll find is a results table of all of the accounts coming from our ERP, so the account code and the account description, along with the CCH Tagetik account that our AI mapping has automatically mapped it to. Now here, as an end user, I can come in and manually make any changes that I'd like to change. If I'd like to make any changes, I can manually make those changes. And when I hit save, the system is going to adjust the mapping info from AI mapping to user manual mapping. So as an end user, we always have the opportunity to review what our AI has done in terms of, in this example, auto mapping accounts from your source system into CCH Tagetik. And we'll keep track of what mappings have been done by the artificial intelligence mapping and what mapping has been done manually by us in terms of overrides after the fact. So that's just a brief look into the AI auto mapping capabilities within CCH Tagetik. Of course, when we load the data, we'll then run the auto mapping. We'll be able to check the results. And when we're happy with the results, we can simply run our data import on demand and allow the system to import all of the data based on the mappings that we've set. Now, when we look ahead, once we've collected all of our data together, we need to continue managing our data within the application and ensure we have good data quality. Now we validate the integrity of all of our data and start another process of checks and procedures. We may begin with some data validation by comparing data from our different sources to identify discrepancies and ensure consistency between the data extracted from various systems. We also need to check the completeness and accuracy by ensuring all required fields are populated and that data values are within expected ranges. Then we need to clean up the data by removing any duplicate records, standardizing formats, and correcting any inaccuracies found during the validation checks. Next, we'll enrich our data by supplementing existing data with additional information to ensure its quality and completeness. We may need to identify data that does not meet validation criteria or business rules, and then investigate and resolve those errors to determine the root cause and implement corrective actions. And then finally, we may wrap up with establishing a data governance framework and continuously monitor the data to ensure good data quality. Again, we've been spending a precious amount of time ensuring that we have good data quality, only to repeat the cycle and take time away from focusing on other business needs, right? But now, again, with CCH Tagetik and the power of AI, we have a way to save time and improve not only the data quality without the tedious process we're used to, but also, of course, the efficiency. So here, with our AI anomaly detection capability, you now have the power to improve the data quality by automating the process of data detection while keeping full control of the outcome through validation. Let's take a quick look at, again, what modern data validation looks like within CCH Tagetik. And for that, I'll jump over back to the CCH Tagetik application. Something I didn't mention, I'm using Google Chrome on the web today. CCH Tagetik allows you to access it via any HTML5 ready browser. And so here, within my AI anomaly detection step, of course, I can take a look at some of the actual analysis, some of the data that's coming in. Maybe I'll jump in really quickly into the actual analysis side of things. I get a filter prompts to select what filters I'd like to take a look at here. I can select from my hierarchy by clicking through the hierarchy, or I can start typing in and have Tagetik automatically suggest to me what I'd like to input there. But here, I can just take a look at what my actuals that I've loaded actually looks like. Oops, I did not mean to press that alternate button. But here we can take a look at the actual analysis that of the data that we've brought into the application. And then what we can do is, again, we'll leverage AI anomaly detection. And this is actually, again, something that I've run beforehand, but I've only run these beforehand because they take a minute or two to run. And of course, we're on a very tight timeline within this 45-minute time slot. But really, it doesn't take long to run. If we have a couple of hours, I would take a minute and run this AI anomaly detection for us. But the output that we would get from this AI anomaly detection is this outlier analysis. And within this outlier analysis, what I'll do is, again, open up my my report based on the filters that I'd like to open up on. And here I can see an outlier with a probability of being an outlier of 58.5%. So not only does CCH Tagetik flag pieces of data as outliers, it also tells you the probability that this is an outlier. I have the ability to come in here and drill into the flag here to see a little bit more details behind that information. And so here I can see where my data point lies and that it lies outside of the expected range. And we have that probability of 58.5% that this is actually an outlier. So as an end user, I can decide how I'd like to handle this piece of data. So again, we are leveraging the power of artificial intelligence and machine learning to help us identify outliers within the data that we're loading in order to make our lives more efficient. We're making that whole process that I just went over in the slides more efficient and automated so that we're not relying on human eyes to find the outliers within our data, but we're actually leveraging artificial intelligence and machine learning to ensure that the quality of our data is of utmost quality. Because as we know, as I mentioned earlier, we give an AI system garbage data, we're going to get garbage data coming out. So the quality of our data is of utmost importance, and CCH Tagetik can facilitate the efficiency of analyzing the quality of data by leveraging our AI anomaly detection capabilities. So now that we've gone through our AI auto mapping, how are we going to map new sources of data into CCH Tagetik? We're going to automatically leverage our AI auto mapping capabilities and have the system and have the artificial intelligence map the source systems into CCH Tagetik. We're then going to leverage AI anomaly detection to help ensure that the quality of data is the highest quality so that we're feeding the artificial intelligence and machine learning, whether it's for driver-based analysis, predictive forecasting, whatever it may be, but we're feeding it with the highest quality of data. But then once we're live and it's time to start planning, the best way to begin is by analyzing our existing data in a digestible format and understanding, then track our key business driver. But what are the ways we're used to identifying our key business drivers? Well, first of all, we might review some financial statements to analyze our current and past performance. Then we might take a look at some of our revenue and financial statements to, some of our revenue streams to identify patterns in revenue generation. Then we might sit back and examine some of our expenses to see where we spend money and what drives that spend, or find opportunities for cost savings or cost optimization. Then we're going to take a look at some operational metrics. We're going to take a look to see what operational efficiencies and inefficiencies we have. And we might conduct some market research to understand, industry trends, our competitors, customers, and market dynamics. Then we might take a look at some economic indicators like inflation or interest rates, and see the potential impact that they have on our performance. Then we might prepare a sensitivity analysis to assess the sensitivity of KPIs to change in different variables and scenarios. Then we might use some dashboarding and data visualization tools to provide a clear overview of our performance. Then we might run some trend analysis to identify patterns, anomalies, correlations, with huge data sets to uncover drivers hidden in data. Amongst many other things we could be doing for our business to find business drivers, find the trends, and find ways to improve our business. But what if there was just, an easier way to do this all at once? Obviously, based on the presentation so far, you know where I'm getting to look at our data together and have artificial intelligence find those internal and external factors that impact and drive our business the most. Of course, CCH Tagetik brings us AI driver-based analysis. And with AI driver-based analysis built into CCH Tagetik, we are able to detect key business drivers by reading through massive sets of data and information and connecting all of the dots to see what matters the most with our business. With AI driver-based analysis, you eliminate all of those numerous channels that I just showed on the previous slide, where you're used to utilizing when monitoring existing business drivers, but most importantly, identifying new ones. And instead, you have the ability to leverage an intelligent engine that with built-in artificial intelligence that finds them for you, that goes through all of those different areas automatically for us and allows us to explain the data with some drivers. So with that being said, let's jump back into CCH Tagetik and take a look at some AI driver-based analysis. So here within our workflow, and all of these workflows are fully configurable. So everything that you see here, fully configurable workflows. You don't have to follow these workflows within your implementation. But here within our example, this is how we've set up our workflow. So first, we're going to load our external data. So we'll run that and load our external data. And then we'll load some of our financial data. And we'll load some internal data like customer satisfaction information, maybe some quality index data, and like I said, some external data. I've already gone through and done this. Again, each one of these tasks takes 30 seconds, but given our limited amount of time, I'll just jump into our data check section. Now, our data check section here is going to give you an opportunity to analyze the correlation between our volume and some of those factors that we've been taking a look at, some of those external and internal factors, things like our price, our discount percentage, our sales staff, our market volume, maybe our customer satisfaction rate, our quality index, maybe the inflation rate, unemployment rate, COVID rate, vaccination percentage, PPI, right? So we have the ability to compare any of these external and internal factors with things like our volume within our business. And here we just have a table of all of those KPIs where we're analyzing them all together. Now, what we can do within CCH Tagetik is we have loaded 6 years of prior data into the system. So 6 years of historical data. And what we'll do, again, is run our AI insights. And here, again, I've run this beforehand just because it takes a couple of minutes to run. But we'll run our AI insights on this data. And this will allow us to analyze these historical 6 years of data that we've uploaded. And what the system will do is, prior to uploading those external factors, we had a mean average, and I know we didn't show this here, but we had a total mean average percentage error of closer to 8%. But in loading those external factors and in running our artificial intelligence and machine learning, our analysis on these prior 6 years of data, we've managed to correlate our drivers, both internal and external, that you see over here, to the volume of our business here. So we've been able to reduce our mean average percentage error from about 8% down to 2.5%. We can see the actual in the solid line, as well as what our artificial intelligence and machine learning would have predicted for us had we leveraged those drivers that we've identified here, as well as the artificial intelligence engine. So we would have had just a small 2.5% error. And here we'll be able to see, or we can see that our largest areas, or the areas that affect our business the most, are our discount percentage and our marketing with a lag of 2, which means that if we have a marketing campaign set out in May, then there's going to be a 2-month lag to see that impact on the marketing campaign for our business. So those are the two biggest factors that we've seen within our business. And this was all identified by artificial intelligence and machine learning in analyzing the prior 6 years of data that we've imported into the application. So again, always critical to artificial intelligence and machine learning is the ability to provide the system with a ton of data, right? We won't be able to do the same with just 1 year of data. And then within CCH Tagetik, because we've got that financial layer and the operational layer, the AIH, Analytic Information Hub, for us, volumes of data does not intimidate us. We encourage it because in order to properly leverage our built-in artificial intelligence and machine learning, we need to feed it with the most data that we can of the utmost quality. So we encourage having many years of historical data for our artificial intelligence to learn on, to analyze on, and to be able to provide outputs such as the one that you're seeing right here. I can, for instance, drill into, my total MAPE, for example. I can come and take a look at some more details associated to my key variables. Maybe I'll drill in here really quickly, just so that you can see that our analysis will always continue within CCH Tagetik here. But with that being said, and I'll give this just a second to load here. Here we can see, for example, the impact analysis on all of our variables here. So again, we can get to a level of data, analyzing the data all the way back into January of 2017 and really identify the impact of each one of these drivers on our data within CCH Tagetik. I mentioned that we can drill into the total MAPE as well. Again, we can drill into that total mean average percentage error to find more details associated to that. So here I'm drilling into it and I'm seeing it broken out by region, product, and distributor. So I can see all of that information broken out by region, product, and distributor as well. So again, leveraging CCH Tagetik and the artificial intelligence and machine learning to help us with our driver-based analysis so that we don't have to spend so much time analyzing all of those different types of reports, data visualization, revenue analysis, market research. Let's push some of those tasks onto machines. Let's push some of those tasks onto artificial intelligence. It's 2025. We have the technology to allow us to leverage artificial intelligence and machine learning. So let's go ahead and start doing that now. And finally, when it comes to the power to investigate, visualize, and report on data within CCH Tagetik, it's stronger than ever before. And to highlight one more way that we have AI-powered financial intelligence throughout the platform, I'd like to talk about one of our latest innovations that enhance your ability to combine numbers with narratives. So first of all, we've got intelligence analytics, is the ability to leverage our intelligent capabilities to analyze the information within CCH Tagetik. And then I'll show some reporting where we can report across Excel-based reports, Word, PowerPoint-based reports on the web within SharePoint. We're talking about analytics, operational reporting, narrative reporting, financial reporting, and disclosure management. And we have the ability to leverage a couple of different things. So like I said, intelligent disclosure, where with intelligent disclosure, you'll bring any story to life, integrating the data of any one of your departments, using any sources of data to explain numbers within narratives and communicate your company's values. We can leverage collaboration, Microsoft 365, SharePoint, built-in natural language processing with Copilot, multiple sources, and automatic, data validation, versioning, roll forward. So let's take a look at a couple of pieces that we have here. So first of all, on the intelligent disclosure side of things, we're talking about working directly within Microsoft Word, where here I have our Wolters Kluwer 2023 annual report that we actually built directly within CCH Tagetik's intelligent disclosure. You can see on the right-hand side, we have a breakdown of all of the sections and subsections that we've broken up this report into. The idea here is that I can break up my report into multiple sections and subsections because each one might require a different workflow in order to complete it. So maybe I'm going to work on my strategic section while someone else works on the governance section, and they have to go through multiple people before they complete it. We can break those two sections up into two different sections and work on them simultaneously. We can have different workflows. While I finish my strategic section and get it approved, the governance section might be going through multiple reviews or multiple approvals. I can also do things like leverage automatic data validation. I have the ability to directly connect objects into CCH Tagetik. So for example, I have my current year dynamically connected within CCH Tagetik. I have this revenue chart. I have all of these charts. You can see the different types of information. I've got tables. I've got data points. I've got values, KPIs. I have the ability to dynamically connect any piece of information from outside of CCH Tagetik into our intelligent disclosure capabilities, which is directly within, Word. That is essentially it's accessing these documents or document parts or sections from SharePoint. So this is all leveraging, the Microsoft 365 infrastructure. I can leverage Copilot to help me produce some of these commentaries. Like I said, I can connect any type of data so that, my life is more efficient. And then when I roll the report forward, I just change the current year and leverage our copy and roll forward capabilities. And just with a couple of clicks, I've rolled the report forward into my new year, and the report will automatically load all of these new tables, graphs, charts, data points, and so on. So again, the ability to make that last mile, the production of my 10K, 10Q, annual report, quarterly report, any sort of management or board presentations within PowerPoint, we can automate this, make it a lot more efficient, and leverage artificial intelligence with Copilot within here. And if I flip over to our AskAI capabilities, so here back on the web end, jumping over to our reporting and analysis capabilities, similarly with our natural language processing within CCH Tagetik, I can come in here and create a new dashboard. So we're doing a new dashboard for our Argyle webinar, and I'll hit save here just to create this new dashboard. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to ask AI. So what I could do is start typing a question, just like we're typing within, a chat GPT. But instead of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to CCH Tagetik. I'm going to activate my microphone and I'm going to tell CCH Tagetik exactly what I want to see. Show me sales trends by month and BU for the scenario 2023 act. Now I'll run this, and just by discussing, having a conversation with my CCH Tagetik, the system is going to bring up a dashboard for me here. Now, what can I do? I have the ability to flip the style, for example, if I'd like to change the style a little bit, I'd like to make it a little bit bigger. So the ability to provide natural language processing to give us a complete end-to-end artificial intelligence leveraged solution really is an advantage within CCH Tagetik. So from the collection of data all the way to the reporting of this data, leveraging natural language processing is done within CCH Tagetik. We're not just doing, predictive forecasting, driver-based analysis. We are actually doing some anomaly detection. We are automatically mapping those accounts from your source system to CCH Tagetik, all the way through all of your processes down into leveraging CCH Tagetik's intelligent disclosure to produce your 10Ks and 10Qs or annual or quarterly reports, and then leveraging AskAI, for example, to start speaking with the application and producing some dashboards to help you analyze the data. Now, with that, I'll jump back over to the slides and we're going to close off this presentation. So hopefully you've seen today in these short 45 minutes how CCH Tagetik can really elevate your FP&A and closing consolidation process, as well as reporting within both of those processes with AI. Starting on the data management side of things, we make your life of collecting data and governance of the mapping of the data easy with AI auto mapping. We no longer have to sit down and figure out all of the mapping from different sources into our main CCH Tagetik source. We'll let artificial intelligence do the majority of the work, and we'll just review the work of the artificial intelligence. AI anomaly detection, same thing. We're not printing reports out and ticking and tying them with red pens or anything like that. We're just leveraging anomaly detection to help point out outliers. It's going to tell us the percentage probability that this actually is an outlier. We actually have an inliers area as well too, if you may have noticed on that form that I was showing earlier. And then reporting, analytics, and disclosure, where we have our AI driver-based analysis. So rather than spending so much time analyzing all of your different drivers through, financial reports, revenue analysis, market research, and all of those other areas, let's let artificial intelligence do that. Let's give it a ton of historical data, and let's let artificial intelligence figure out for us what are the biggest drivers of our business. And then, of course, intelligent analytics and intelligent disclosure to help us with that last mile, allow us to perform some analysis using, AskAI, speaking directly to the CCH Tagetik application. I can speak in different languages. I personally don't speak Japanese, but I could have said in Japanese what I'd like, in French, in Spanish, in Italian. We cover, I believe it's 15 different languages globally. So you can speak directly to the system using the microphone, and the system will give you back some analysis right at your fingertips in a matter of seconds. So really, CCH Tagetik brings you, that end-to-end artificial intelligence embedded through the application to really help save time on a lot of those low value manual tasks and gain time to deliver value, drive decisions with intelligent insight. And with that being said, I'll pass it back to Brittany from the Argyle team. Hopefully you've got something out of our presentation today, and we'd be happy to dive in deeper on any other occasion.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Sadek, for such an amazing session. Audience members can still enter questions, and looks like we have time to at least review one question that came through. So this question could be good to close out with. Can you make any recommendations for organizations that may be wary of new AI implementations or automation capabilities for the finance function, especially, in regard to compliance and regulations?
Um, I would say the biggest recommendation goes back to what we were saying earlier in the presentation. The quality of the data that we are looking at is of utmost importance because if we give artificial intelligence a set of data that isn't near perfect or isn't high quality, it's not going to give us quality output, right? It is very reliant on the quality of data that we're feeding it. So I would spend a little bit of extra time up front, ensuring that the data that we're going to feed the system is of utmost quality and leveraging artificial intelligence and machine learning in the world of CCH Tagetik, for example, to help double down on ensuring that everything is of the utmost quality. Um, we will always say it, with artificial intelligence, garbage in, garbage out. So let's keep things clean so that we get clean in and clean results out.
Great. Well, thank you so much again, Sadek, for an insightful presentation. That is all the time we do have for questions, but we will be sure to follow up with you with any questions we did not get to. I also want to thank everyone else for joining us today. This session, along with all of today's content, will be made available on demand following the event. Our next session will begin shortly, so please click on the join button that will appear on your screen to be redirected, and we look forward to seeing you there. Thank you again.
Thank you.